future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon, broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios here in Hollywood, California, where Scandal and Murder, She Wrote are filmed, with UBN Radio TV, that's Universal Broadcasting Network, and then syndicated every Saturday at 2 p.m. on my CNBC NBC affiliate KCAA on AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and on demand everywhere, anytime on iHeartRadio. And this is a show about hope and happiness, so there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words. No Kardashian talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And we're going to start off with my peace in, peace out shout outs. I had 3 red carpets in 2.5 days, so it's going to be fast. Ready? Here we go. First at City Gala, Peter Nguyen. And my PR best friend in the whole wide world, Cheryl Snap Connor, on stage. She's the one who put me in front of Travolta and Halle Berry last year. And this year, Callie Tucker, who's the niece of Tanya Tucker. And her voice is amazing. I got her to sing on the carpet for me. And Al Pacino's stepmom was there. And then, unbelievable. Talk about blow my socks off, or pantyhose off, I should say. Jafar Jackson, the youngest son of Jermaine Jackson, nephew of Michael Jackson, was the title act of the NASGO event at the Dolby Theater. And I have to say that I have to thank Eric Tippett and Stephen Chang for finally helping me understand all the hullabaloo around cryptic, I used to call it cryptic currency because I couldn't understand it, but cryptocurrency, blockchain, and basically it's tokenizing musicians and artists and actors and me eventually to so that they actually get the money. So, right now, the way it's traditionally done, the artists get very little. And, one of my best friends is Keiko Matsui. And, by the time, if you even get a deal, you get a very, very small portion. So this whole movement of disruptive technology is helping artists. And this was a huge night. So I want to thank them. It was great being on the carpet. Thank you, Cheryl, for getting me there. Diana Kelly. Also my great camera woman, Jennifer, Maxwell Parkinson, Lauren. It was awesome. And I want to thank, too, Crystal Bagley, who was organizing the red carpet for the beautiful words that she put on Facebook for me about me. All right. And then the last event was the Art for Peace Awards. And very excited. Some of my friends were up for an award. My favorite actor in the whole wide world, Christian Gagnère, Frank, the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation, his movie, Greg Reed, the producer, all the actors that were in that, they won the Inspirational Movie Award, and the movie's not even out yet, which is pretty cool, but it was wonderful playing with them on the red carpet. And then Best Female or Best Vocal Artist is Tara Love, and she's the one that invited me to cover, and she was there with her whole clan. There's one picture with a whole bunch of people that we got to get up there. There we are. And all of her friends who were blowing up my phone with a group text, but they are beautiful supporters. She definitely the best music that night, and she blew everybody away with her song. So peace in and peace out to all of the beautiful people that I got to meet and interview and have fun with. I can't name them all, but you know who you are. And today's show, it is the last week of the month, and it is time for sexual healing with Dr. Marissa, because I'm determined to make pleasure a G-rated topic. And so you know that this series started when a few years back I heard the statistic that up to 85% women fake orgasms, are not proud of how they look without clothes on. And I said, we've got to start talking about sex and pleasure and how it's a beautiful thing and why we feel bad about ourselves and the way we look. We've had everything from safe sex apps to safe sex acts, apps, 11 kinds of orgasms, condom research, matchmakers, infertility experts. So everything to do with sexual healing, go to my YouTube playlist and get all of those for free. As well as last month was Lee Wynn, the author of Gay as a $5 Bill. We are following up that great show with another great guest today. You may recognize him, especially if you, like me, watched The Young and the Restless, one of my favorite college time soap operas. He's an award-winning actor, best known for his portrayal of the legacy character Philip Chancellor III on the daytime drama The Young and the Restless. Thomas Bierdz is a filmmaker, a writer, and a fine artist, and he's releasing his newest book, The Young and the Gay and Restless, this week. So please welcome to the studio, Thomas Bierdz. Hello.
Hey, Marissa, how you doing?
I am happy and grateful. So glad to have you with me. Peace and peace out to Harlan for another great guest that he keeps supplying me with. And you, my sir, have such doing the research, I was like, really? Could anything else happen to you? So let's start with, I think for me, the most fascinating is you are a hunk. You're a hunk on the show. You were the heartthrob of so many people, and yet you say that you were looking for love in all of the wrong places. So let's start with that one.
Well, all right. I mean, I'm just going to free-form thoughts here.
Yes, please.
I grew up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Midwest, Catholic. I knew I was gay very early. And that was not appreciated back then.
I bet.
A long time ago, there was a lot of shaming. And so, of course, I grew up thinking that I was bad, very bad. But I came out at 18 after writing a letter to God saying, God, I'm going to be an important gay man. If gay's bad, kill me in my sleep. And I woke up and I thought, well, okay. God didn't kill me, so I'm okay. And then I started bartending in gay bars in Milwaukee when I was 19. That was a drinking age then. I saved money and I moved to Hollywood at 21. At 24, I got The Young and the Restless, playing the part of Philip Chancellor. And all of a sudden, I went from this shy kid to on stage with thousands of girls screaming for me. And they said, you got a boyfriend? Or do you have a girlfriend? And I said, no. I didn't say I had a boyfriend. You know, I was just trying to avoid the question, trying to have integrity, but essentially I couldn't. And it took me till 2009 when I came back on the soap opera, making history as the first gay actor hired in a principal role on a soap opera. I'm looking at my dog here. That I was able to make a huge arc, you know, and finally come out and say, it doesn't matter if you understand or get my sexuality. I'm here. And I'm doing something that I think is important.
Yes.
I don't think
yes.
that answered your question.
No,
at all,
it did, because my follow-up question was, tell me how it all started. So you just read my mind, because that's usually the first question I ask. So it came from an early, I'm not okay. It came from an early, I'm not good enough, which is a very common for anyone that is not mainstream, right? There's something.
I'm not sure of that because I
Okay.
remember 6 years old watching TV thinking, oh, I want to be that. However, I didn't want to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a movie star. So, yes, I think there was some overcompensation I was looking for.
Okay. Right,
Yeah.
right. Because you've had some
What kind of
plastic.
doctor are you?
I'm sorry?
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm not an MD. I'm a PhD.
Okay.
So in organizational psychology. So you know what PhD stands for, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, it's piled higher and deeper. So it really doesn't mean anything. So in fact, when you were bartending, you almost became a victim of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Could have happened. I was bartending at Club 219 in my cowboy hat with a little mustache, 19 years old. And yeah, that's one of the places Jeffrey Dahmer would frequent and find victims and kill them. I think he killed 17 young men.
Yeah.
And at one point, my lover was this big, masculine, hairy dude that worked the basement bar. And a psychic voice said to him, there's a serial killer in your presence. And he looked around, and it was just his customer, Jeffrey. It didn't dawn on him till years later when he saw the news that, oh, my God, the voice told him that the serial killer was right there.
Wow.
And he was guilty about it. But what do you do?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I never went home with him.
Yeah, I'm glad too. You wouldn't been here. And if you're just tuning in and you're wondering who I get to talk to today, it is Thomas Bierdz, who you will recognize as Philip Chancellor from The Young and the Restless, and he's here to talk and help with sexual healing with Dr. Marissa. He was born in a place where being gay was not okay, and dealing with that, as well as you've had some. I think I read Harlan put down that you've had quite a bit of plastic surgery. Now that was also in an effort to look okay.
Yeah, I never liked the way I looked. I thought I was too skinny, but TV added weight, especially back then. Mm-hmm. So I looked good on screen, but when I would go to these appearances, these girls would say, you look bigger on screen. And I was like, oh, I know, damn it.
Yeah.
So when I turned 30, I left the soap opera to be a movie star, to be Tom Cruise. Didn't happen. But at 30, I had some money and I did some surgeries. I wanted to make my face look wider, so I got some silicone here and I got my ears pinned back. I had a chin implant, which looked horrible because my chin goes out when I smile. So we put that back in. I had lipo. And the doc I was dealing with had been pretty premier at penile operations. And I decided I wanted some fat from here put in my penis. And I don't regret it at all. It straightened it out. It added some girth and it added some width. But I never mentioned it to anybody, not even my lovers, until I decided to write this book.
Yes.
So I'm coming out with all kinds of secrets because as you feel, shaming is negative.
Yes.
Repression is non-productive. I'm all about let's just put it all out there, and we can't hate each other. We can't judge each other for taboo fantasies and stuff if we don't hurt people.
Right.
Right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I love the way that you say, it's an inside out. It's about loving yourself. It's less about what people think about you as what you think about yourself. And
Don't
that
you have a book, something about insight?
yes, I do.
What is that exactly? I don't know. I heard a little bit about it.
It's 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And I swear to you guys, I did not put him up to this to give
No,
you
you
a
didn't. No, you
commercial.
didn't. No, but Harlan is a bestseller, and I'm like, well, I got to ask her about it because I
Well,
don't know
that's so sweet of you, darling. But this is about you. People want to hear about you. So let's go back to you. And what I was just heartbroken to hear, something that you've had to deal with that not many people in life have ever had to deal with this kind of a situation. And that was actually the subject of your first book. Your brother murdered your mother. And I can't even imagine or put my arms around to how do you deal with that? So let's talk about that.
How did she deal with it? I can deal with it okay. I've always believed in life after death. But, that's one reason that I frown on having kids, and I'm for abortion. I'm for it because, why saddle yourself with a dependent that you may not want and that may not want you? I'm glad, that I never had kids or anything. I got dogs. But, unfortunately, my mother, from the time she was 19 to her death at 49, all she did was take care of her kids. Dad left, and she was a mother working several jobs. And unfortunately, my youngest brother, Troy, he killed her. We didn't know if he was paranoid schizophrenic. She had taken him to 40 doctors for analysis and help. And most of them said, no, we don't think so. We think he's just a jerk. We think he's being mean intentionally. She found a book under his bed about paranoid schizophrenia, but didn't know if he was trying to fake it or if he was trying to research himself. She knew that he was going to kill somebody and that he wanted to kill her. In Hollywood, I didn't know that, and I didn't believe that. So when he did, of course, it was incredibly surprising to us all. And he was the first person in Wisconsin to be sentenced with life meaning life, which means life for 50 years. And the reason I wrote Forgiving Troy is because I found my way back in an unbelievable way 5 years after he killed her to his prison to help him. And what I found was not this mean brother who wanted to kill me, who was a black belt, who could have killed me, but this non-existent soul, just blabbering, making no sense, and gone. So whether he was schizophrenic when he killed Mom or not, I don't know, but he certainly was when I 5 years later.
Oh, wow.
And I became the big brother I never was. Was him, and he was able to help me. So Forgiving Troy really is a remarkable story.
Wow.
I had to write because it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Is he still in that jail?
Yeah, he's still in the prison in the psychiatric unit, which is a good place for him.
Right.
He's got his needs met.
Yeah. Do you see him often, or?
He has not been. I saw him often, which is a lot what the book was about.
Right.
But recently, no. He has not wanted to reach out in letters or phone calls because he can call me. I can't call him.
Right.
I just trust that his world is small.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need me right now, so that's okay.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm thank you for sharing that, and I can't imagine that it's not easy. But I also, and tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. So thank you for sharing your heart with me, Thomas.
I always believed in life after death, Marissa.
Yeah.
And that totally helped me see the situation in a different way.
Yep.
Because I saw it as, my mother was somewhere. I didn't know where.
Yeah.
And helping him was what she would have wanted.
Right.
So I did that for her. Not for me and not for him.
Right.
But it benefited us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, your mom is with my dad, and they're up there right now watching the big screen TV, which is streaming us talking together. And they're cheering us on because I believe in that too. Lymphoma. Yeah,
For sure.
and early. So actually, chapter 2 in my book is out of loss into faith. And
Into what?
faith?
Faith.
Yeah, in a friendly universe. In fact, this is a good time to give a shout out to Tony Sweet, who you've not met, but he owns this station. And he is right now, I just flew out last night to be with his mom, who's in hospice, who has like 3 days left. And his heart is breaking open right now. So this
How
is
wonderful, though. My favorite thing to do at night is to listen to near-death experiences. There's like hundreds of them online.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for her. Totally
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, he's actually, ironically, Tony has a show that it deals exactly with that. So it's going to be an interesting time for him. But anyways, we're sending our love out right now with a breath. Okay, and so let's get back to you. You also had some experiences with the Me Too personally that just feed into the whole. The what's coming out, the ugliness or the ugly or the dark side of Hollywood being propositioned. My show's not about gossip, so it's less about who and what, but for someone who's been in that situation and you're advising now and mentoring people on my show who are in the industry, what would you say to people who who feel like they don't have a choice, but they have to succumb to the advances of people who are coming on to them, who are in positions of power?
That's an interesting question. I would say, we have the technology today to do research and to find all kinds of support and people that can give you much better answers than me. But in my situation, it was kind of funny because I had a few mild sexual assaults. Like I was dropping a painting off at a celebrity's home, and in his bedroom, when he was showing me the house, he grabbed my crotch and shoved his tongue in me and held me really tight. And, I wasn't traumatized by that. I was just creeped out. That's all. So I didn't think much of it. I just kind of ignored it like other things. But when I was 21, a photographer drugged me. And so as I passed out, I saw him taking my pants down, and I saw him performing things on me, and I was out. Probably the only time in my life I've ever lost consciousness. And I even hit a couple cars driving in the morning on the way home. But at 21, I didn't call the cops. I didn't think, oh, this is a bad guy or I was wronged. I thought, you know what? He promised me headshots. Oh. So I called him up and I said, well, can we get these headshots? And I was just careful never to take a drink or a pill from him again. So in this way, I kind of relate to the Cosby accusers, because even though some of them accused Bill Cosby of assault, which he probably did, some of them hung around him. And for some of my Facebook friends, especially women, are like, oh, nobody would do that. And I'm like, well, I would do that, because that's what I did.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we have different reactions. In fact, I'm writing another book, which will be out in a month, how men really feel about being sexually assaulted, which is a compilation of anonymous men's accounts and their reactions, because they're different.
Really interesting. Do you have a title for that book yet?
Yeah, that's it. How men really feel about being sexually assaulted.
Yeah, I just had that thought because a lot of the porn, not a lot, but one of the porn themes is, there's something that's a turn on about being
dominated.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know how to quite say that without getting myself in trouble. So, it's a tricky thing. It definitely is a tricky thing. So you have been disillusioned with Hollywood, and now you live in Lake Arrowhead, where actually one of my best friends used to live there. I meant to ask you, did you ever meet Michael Maine?
No.
No? Okay. anyways, he's with my dad and your mom right now, but I loved him a lot. So so you live there and now you paint, and your paintings have been lauded like Van Gogh, Picasso, I think I read, Warhol. I mean, that's pretty amazing. We're getting some shots right now put up. I'm looking at them. They're gorgeous. So how did that happen?
I was creative. In fact, I can look back at my life and thank the universe that almost every day I created. It was usually paintings, but it could have been songs or books or something. But I've spent my whole life with no regrets about creating and spilling. I did paint live in front of many events, raised a lot of monies for charities. But more often than not, I paint portraits of people's grandmas and stuff like that. But I've also done expressionism stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's one coming up right now that's beautiful, the colors.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've always liked to paint. And that's one reason that I love living here alone. That's the best thing, because I've got social anxiety, and Hollywood was hard for me because everywhere you go, there's an opportunity to be anxious. And so when I moved away from people and all that, I live here in the woods with 17 windows overlooking 4 seasons. And I am completely satisfied being by myself, delivering my creative projects and making a living at it. So for me, it works.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super glad that you're not so anxious that you wouldn't come and talk to me, at least over the air.
Right.
I had asked Harlan if you were coming in the studio. He's like, oh, no, that's not going to happen. So I get that now.
Well, most of it is, why drive so far when you don't have to?
Right.
But yeah, there is some social anxiety, and I really don't know how I will do today. I don't know how I will do on a set or something, because it's been so long. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you do great. So if you do go on set, you have to come to mine first. How's that?
And where are you? You Los Angeles?
Yeah, I'm Sunset Gower Studios.
Oh, cool. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's not too far. So I'm getting the signal. It looks like we're going to have to take a little break for the commercials, the show sponsors that make this show possible. If you are someone who has a product or service or a book coming out that would like to be promoted and sponsor a show about hope and happiness, especially last week of the month, sexual healing, or the call-in shows, please do contact me at drmarissa.tv, and we'll get you set up with a very affordable package out of your PR and marketing budget. And that way we can be connected, and we'll just promote the heck out of you. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out. That's world peace through inner peace. Do you know any honest mechanics? Well, I do. Dr. Marissa here, and if you have a car you love, then take it to JP's European Auto in Huntington Beach. Experienced, knowledgeable, and professional, JP's European Auto has been the #1 choice for European auto repair since 2009. Mention Dr. Marissa and JP will give you a 10% off, so go to jpseuro.com, your dealer alternative to all European automobiles today. Do you want to be happier in life than you are now? Well, Dr. Marissa's newest book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, will help you unlock the BS, belief systems that say you are not good enough. Hitting 6 bestseller lists, including #1 on Amazon, and 3 book medals, this self-help on steroids book will help you be happy 88% of the time, which is your birthright. Go to 8waystohappiness.com today. And we are back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California. And then every Saturday at 2 on my syndicated CNBC, NBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and everywhere iHeartRadio is. And today's guest for Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa is Thomas Bierdz, the actor, filmmaker, award-winning artist, as well as the author of a new book called The Young, Gay, and Restless. Thomas Bierdz, so happy to have you on the show with me. Tell me a little bit more about the book after I read one of the great reviews. It says, Young, Gay, and Restless is Bierd's tasty memoir that will keep you turning pages as your jaw drops. Told with superior flair and keen talent, Bierd's words are pure candy and cadence. His story will stay with you through the years as a testament to the questing human spirit seeking what we all want, peace and contentment, and what seems to have eluded him in Hollywood. And this is from the author of Sick Success, Hillary Jostrom. So great words. So you had fun writing the book.
Well, you know what? What I want to say is the reason that this book is special is because nobody else is as free as I am. Everybody else has a boss that'll say you can't possibly write that, you'll lose your job, or a husband or a spouse saying you can't write that, or kids saying you can't. But I don't.
Right.
And I've really come to a point where, I'm so happy isolated and in my spiritual path and doing my creations that I'm not looking for approval. I'm not looking for an acting job. An actor would not write this book. No way. Only an artist would. So that's why it's so bold. And I didn't do it for shock. I just did it because it's honest. I didn't know, I didn't know what anatomy girls had growing up. And they were, I just explained my entire sexual journey. And it's funny. It's amusing. And liberating. I hope it's liberating.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's very liberating. That there's no holds barred. Some of the I was a little confused when it said who talks about, and then it had a list of things there that were quite interesting. And then I realized you were talking about yourself, including some of your sexual fantasies, which is very interesting as well. And so this is a book. I love how comfortable you are. So this is the part also of the sexual healing, the way you started and the way you really weren't comfortable with who you are. It seems like, the plastic surgery, the 200 sexual experiences you had, the, all of these things, the where's my headshot, all of those things point to someone who was really not comfortable in their own skin. And you right now are definitely comfortable in your own skin.
Thanks. I just got here.
Yeah.
It's new.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? What happened?
Leaving Hollywood. I really thought that I was going to be Tom Cruise. Every second from when I was 6 to 49. I believed that. And then I realized it's not going to happen. Then I left Hollywood and I realized, am I going to die and be mad and then have to repeat this life because I didn't attain that? And I thought, wait a minute. Wait, what really matters? It matters what I think. I can be a movie star here. I made a movie here. I proved to myself I'm a movie star. It doesn't matter what you think. The Young and the Restless decided not to continue my gay storyline. Doesn't matter. I have it in the book. Playgirl said no 3 times to me. Is it because I said, you have to say I'm gay? I don't know. I pose naked in this book. It's like I'm deciding what my life is going to be deliberately,
Yeah.
And it really, what you think of me is not my business. So I've come there, and that's a good place. Right?
Yes. She was on my show, actually, the author of that book, Dr. Terry Cole Whitaker. What you think of me is none of my business. She actually wrote that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't heard about her for years. Oh,
yeah.
how cool.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Small world. 1 degree of separation. So and this is why you're on my show. I love that freedom. I love that you've gotten to that place of healing, which is our birthright. All of us, like somewhere around the age of 10, all of a sudden became tethered with we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're fat, we're stupid, we're not as cute, there's something wrong with us. And it's the worst BS that we carry around in our lives for the next how many decades. And selfishly, I'm sorry you had to move out into the woods, because we can't, you can't come over and play mahjong with me, but maybe I'll bring my set over there. But I think it's beautiful what you're saying about who you are, and you don't care. You only care about what you care on who you are.
And I want that message to empower us all.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of my book. It's like, aren't I funny? Aren't I naive? Aren't I stupid? Aren't I, oh my God, embarrassing? Yeah, but look, I'm happy. Look, I'm healthy. How did I get here?
Yeah.
I made alternative choices.
Right. It's funny because that's exactly the message of this one. So in two very drastically different ways, we've got the same message.
Aha. That's what, to follow exactly your unique truth?
Yes. Yes, exactly. And I talk about things that are maybe not as embarrassing as what yours do sound like, but mine are definitely real. Definitely, the 7 out of 10 of us that grow up with childhood trauma. Now, your trauma didn't come until a little bit later. It sounded like, you had a lot of trauma, but it sounded like your mother, was amazingly nurturing. So you didn't have that kind of trauma.
Yeah. Your mother was abusive?
Yes. I'm sorry. And that's okay, because I wouldn't change a thing. She did the very best that she knew how to do. She really, really, really thought she was doing me good. And I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was. And so I wouldn't be, and as you do believe about, not dying and all that, I really believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we lined up there or wherever it is, and like a theme park, and we all want to come down to learn or grow and expand in something that we can't experience over there. So this time down, I wanted to feel power. And what better way to develop and experience power than to be born in a home was completely powerless. So that is, now, is that the truth? Is that really why it happened? Is that why I was born where I was born? You know what? I don't care. All I know is that if I, for the rest of my time on earth, chose to believe that it wasn't fair and it wasn't right what my mother did, and she shouldn't have done that, and I'm angry, and I'm justifiably angry, and I'm full of hatred and bitterness, that's the consequence of that choice of thinking. But right now, because of what I believe and choose to believe, I am having the time of my life. I've written this beautiful book that was, I feel, written through me that helps so many people who are the majority who have had childhood trauma to say, you know what? It is not done to me. It was done for me so that I could expand and be chiseled into even greater. So the same thing that you have gone through with your brother, killing your mom, with your experiences of being molested, or, the Me Too kinds of travesties, the fact that you didn't become Tom Cruise, the fact that you had so many encounters looking for love in all the wrong places, all of that chiseled you into the incredibly creative being you are, or that you always were. It just allowed you to blossom into even more beauty. That's what I believe.
And where your general guideline or assignment was power, feeling powerful. Mine was restricting limitations. I can see that now at 56 years old. I can go over that and say, oh, wait, I get it. Aha, I get it, And what's cool about this is I really love myself. And I can tell you really love yourself.
Yeah.
And so many people don't.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
why I have this show. That's why I have the book. That's why you have your book coming out. That's why we do what we do. Is we're balancing out the BS, the belief systems that keep us hating ourselves. If we
Yeah.
continue to compare ourselves to Tom Cruise, then we're not going to feel like we're good enough. But we are
Right.
unique and fabulous.
What
Yeah, go ahead.
productive
Sorry.
your action. You two seem like somebody that does not wallow in want, but more somebody that takes a lot of actions. I don't know you, but that's what it seems like, that you act.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. One of my favorite sayings is willingness without action is a fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I definitely, I'm a type A plus person, not even a type A. And my friends are telling me that my social media exhausts them. Because my new byline is Dr. Marissa. She's everywhere. So I love life. I love the deliciousness of life. I love the deliciousness of great tasting food. I love the deliciousness of meeting new people like you for the first time and finding out where we are aligned and having fun with the diversity of it all. I love highlighting.
On that. You're focusing on the positive.
Yes.
The negative, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, did you have like a
Excellent.
burning bush experience to get to where you are now to love yourself?
What do you mean by that?
So did something happen? Like I had like like an aha moment, a giant aha moment where I heard a voice say to me, I've always been here waiting for you to turn around and dance with me. So that source or that energy, I actually had an audible experience. Did you have something like that, or was yours?
No. It's just that for so long, my intentions have been so good that how can you not love me? How can I not love me? I have not intended to hurt anybody. I don't think ever. So
Right.
of course I love you for that.
Of course,
So
what?
no.
I lost that last part, what you said.
So no, it wasn't the same as yours.
Okay. So yours was you moved out because you were disillusioned, but then as you moved out, you found your Mecca.
I always loved myself, even when I was a victim or counterproductive.
So do you think that came from your mom, or that was just like an internal knowing?
I think that my intentions are so sweet that how can I not love me?
Beautiful. Well, you definitely are loving, lovable, and loved, Thomas Bierdz. I can say that.
Some of my exes may disagree, but
well, that's how I know you now. So I can honestly say, and I've honestly, most of the guests, if not all of the guests that Harlan has introduced me to, like Tony Tennille, Marion Ross, I loved them. Like at the end of the show, I could honestly, we would exchange that. And I feel the same way about you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So the last question, I'm being given the signal that we're almost out of time. The last question I ask all of my guests is, who or what are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for my curiosity that has sent me away from mainstream information, and that I can see the entire scope of what reality is. And to me, it's a unified field of potentiality that is not limited for anybody.
Beautiful. Couldn't have said that better myself. Well, we are connected in that pure field of potentiality. Do you listen to Esther Hicks?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I thought, I do too. So you're wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness for sure. Yes. So where can we find your book?
Go to my website, tombierdz.com. It's hard to spell, but figure it out. tombierdz.com. You can see videos there on what my books are about. You can see 1,000 of my prints for as low as $35. You can see expensive paintings. And
Yeah, and you're the president of
American Art Awards. Yeah,
American Art
been
Awards.
President of American Art Awards for 10 years. And what we do is we decide the best galleries and museums in America, 25 a year. And those wonderful institutions judge art from 59 countries, launch new artists. This year we have 59 countries. I mean, just amazing stuff. Phenomenal art.
That's wonderful.
It's cool to be a part of that because I'm used to doing stuff just for me because I'm pretty self-indulgent. But here, I'm doing stuff that's helping everybody, and it's really cool to be a part of that.
That is very cool. So go to THOMBIERDZ or Z if you're from Canada where I am, and thomasbeards.com, and you'll be able to get his book that's coming out on the 1st of November, as well as one of his art pieces. He can. The money energy is good for him to continue the good work that he's doing, and also to take care of David and Goliath, his kids that are there, his dogs, his rescue dogs. So I'm so grateful to have met you, and
Thanks.
I wish you the very, very, very best. And if you ever come out this way, come say hi.
Cool, and you're welcome for a retreat anytime you want.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I will. I'll take you up on that. Even though I'm allergic to camping, I think I can handle Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Peace in and peace out, Thomas. Love you. Bye. All right. And it is the end of the show where I invite you to balance with me. Coming to my balance bar, the first thing is an Asian Oprah giveaway this Thursday night. I'm covering the annual event that's one of those organizations that's doing something to help heal the planet and balance out the way the prison industry continues to contribute to the problem of incarceration. Join me this Thursday night. Spirit Awakening Foundation presents its annual Voices of the Unheard, LOVE spoken word and the theatrical performance fundraiser hosted by my big brother, Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith at the Skirball Cultural Center Thursday, November 1st from 7 to 9. If you message me on Facebook for 2 tickets, I will get those to you at will call for the Asian Oprah giveaway. Also, I am... you can go look at Eventbrite if you just want to get a ticket. Voices of the Unheard. You can get those tickets there. November 10th, join me in Nashville. I'll be at my first Books a Million book signing, and I'm warming up for a Harry Potter event that day at the Mount Juliet location. Anyone from Nashville, please do join me November 10th. If you missed Keiko Matsui and I on TV, Asian Voices Season 3, Episode 8. You can get that now on YouTube. And since I'm part of the advisory board of the Asian Culture and Media Alliance, or ACMA, the 5th Anniversary Media Awards Gala is happening in San Diego. It's an Oscars red carpet theme, and you get an Asian Oprah giveaway bonus by getting a discount on your ticket if you use Happiness18 on those tickets. Next week, have you ever been taken to the cleaners? Oh, I forgot one thing. New Year's. Do you want a New Year's where you do not wake up with a hangover? Well, join me for the annual Agape International Spiritual Center New Year's Eve retreat. I am honored to be teaching my balanced Tai Chi Gong, moving meditation there. My big brother, my master teacher, meditation teacher and life visioning teacher, Michael, will be running that. So Reverend Michael is looking for all of you. AgapeLive.com. Join me there for New Year's Eve. Next week, have you been taken to the cleaners by a financial advisor? Well, my guest will be Lorraine L., author of Bozos, Monsters, and Whiz-Bangs, Bad Advice from Financial Advisors and How to Avoid It. So keep it tuned to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pei. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out. That's world peace through inner peace.
To take away the part